are the items na kine-claim, ina-assert ng client na siya naman natin i-audit. Dalawa yon. Now, yung isa, today, the test of controls, no? And then, now the presentation in the text is on base sa nature ng transactions. Una natin tatalakayin yung mga transactions related sa sales. And after that, punta na tayo doon sa mga cash receipts transactions. Nakabukod yung purchases transactions at nakabukod din yung mga cash payments transactions. Ano pa? Payroll, no? Transactions. Production transactions. Inventory warehousing transactions. Now, actually, per category, pwede nating masasabi siyang cycle, ano? Sales cycle or revenue cycle, the cash receipts cycle, the purchases cycle, the cash disbursement cycle, the payroll cycle, the production cycle, and the inventory warehousing cycle. Okay, so the first to speak is me. Kuha? Kuha nga ba? Okay.
Wait lang po.
Kaya na mag-share. Kaka-problema kung gini sa akin. Sorry.
Okay na po ba?
Nakilakihan mo. Pwede na rin yan. Baka pwede ba mapapalaki ng counting-counting pa?
Ganyan na po.
Ayan, sige. Go.
Good afternoon, everyone. I will discuss Chapter 19, Test of Controls. Test of Controls, ito yung dinidescribe nito ang auditing procedure na ginagamit sa pag-evaluate o pagsuri ng internal controls sa isang company. So, ano nga ba yung objective ng Test of Controls ng company? Nakakatulong ito upang ma-identify ang internal control upang makita at maiwasan ang material misstatement sa pag-audit. Introduction. When gathering evaluate evidence, auditors perform two basic types of audit tests, test of controls and a substantive test. This chapter presents discussion and application of test of controls. Kapag kumukuha yung audit evidence, may dalawang uri siya na test na ginagamit. Yun nga yung test of controls at substantive test. Pero sa chapter na to, test of controls lang yung i-discuss. During the planning stage, where the auditor obtains an understanding of internal control, the auditor focuses his attention on both the design and the operation of aspects of internal control to the extent necessary to effectively plan the rest of the audit. Dito sa planning stage, intindihin ng mga auditor ang internal control kung saan ang mga auditor ay magpo-focus sa parehong design at pagpapatakbo ng isang internal control na kinakailangan upang makaisip ng epektibong plano sa natitirang i-audit. When the auditor's preliminary assessment of control risk is below the maximum level, they may decide to perform tests of controls to establish the effectiveness of controls in preventing or detecting material misstatements in a financial statement assertion. When auditors assess control risk at the maximum level, they are not required to perform any test of controls. Tests of controls are performed to determine whether a control is worth of controls may require inquiry, observation, or inspection of documents. Well, kapag ang preliminary assessment ng auditor control list ay mas mababa sa pinakamataas na level, maaari na sila pa siya na isagawa yung test of controls para i-establish ang pagiging epektibo ng control sa detect ng material statements sa isang kapag na-assess ng auditor ang control sa pinakamataas na level, hindi sila or hindi nila kinakailangan na perform test of controls. Ang test of controls ay ginagawa lamang para matukoy kung gumagana ang isang control. Bukod pa rito, ito ay ay kinakailangan inquiry, observation, or inspection of documents. This test generally include the following types of procedures. Number one, make inquiries of appropriate client personnel o pagtatanong ng angkop na tauhan ng kliyente. Number two, examine documents, records, and reports o pagsusuri ng mga dokumento, talaan at ulat. Number three, observe control-related activities o pag-observe sa mga aktibidad ng mga na may kaugnayan sa control. Perform client o pagsasagawa muli ng mga pamaraan ng kliyente. First two procedures are the same as those to obtain an understanding of internal control. Thus, performing test of controls can be thought of as continuation of the audit procedures used to obtain the understanding of internal control. The main difference is that with the test of controls, the objective is and the tests are more ang dalawang procedure ay pareho ng mga ginamit makuha ng pag-unawa sa internal control. Ang pagsasagawa ng test of controls ay tuturing ng isang pagpapatuloy ng na pag-audit na ginagamit upang maintindihan ang isang internal control. Ang pinakakaiba sa test of controls ay ang layunin nito na mas maging tiyak at mas malawak yung pag-unawa sa test of controls. Auditors are not required to perform tests of controls. However, such tests are generally cost-effective when a client has effective internal control. In such cases, they may provide a basis for the audit test control risk at less than maximum. Assigning a reduced level of risk reduces the amount of substantive testing the auditor must perform because substantive tests are more expensive to perform than art tests of controls. Auditors perform tests of controls when they believe it will enable them to reduce the amount of substantive testing required. Also, auditors may perform much of the testing of controls before year end, thus spreading the audit work time. Ang auditors ay hindi kinakailangan na magsagawa o gumawa ng test of controls. Subalit ang naturang test ay karaniwang epektibo sa gastos kapag ang isang client ay may at epektibong internal control. Sa ganitong kaso, maaaring silang magbigay ng batayan para sa auditor o control risk na mas mababa pa sa maximum. Ang pag-a-assign sa mababang antas ng control risk ay nagbabawas ng dami ng substantive test na dapat gawin ng isang auditor. Dahil nga ang substantive test ay mas mahal gawin kaysa sa test of controls. Ang auditors ang magsasagawa ng test of controls kapag naniniwala sila na bibigyan ito ng ang dami ng substantive testing. Ang auditors din ang magsasagawa ng karamihan sa testing of controls bago matapos ang kailang ikalat yung mga audit sa paglipas ng panahon. Dahil yun yung nagiging batayan nila kung yun yung naging batayan nila sa isang internal control. Controls are important because of their effect on the assertions embodied in the financial statements. Auditors identify specific assertions for each general assertion to be tested. In the following sections, the assertions and a summary of the control that contributes to the validity of assertion, the potential misstatements that may occur if the control is not effective, and the test that auditor may make of that control are presented for the major transaction cycles. Ang control dahil sa epektibo nito sa mga financial statement. Ang auditors ang magre-recognize ng particular na assertion para sa bawat pangkahalatang assertion test. Ang mga assertion at summary of control ang nagbibigay ng bisa o katunayan sa isang assertion. Ang potential misstatements ay maaaring mangyari kung hindi effective at ang test ng auditor sa control nagpapakita para sa pangunahing transaction. Assertions and controls. 1. Sales transactions. A. Existence. B. Occurrence. Recorded sales are for shipments made to customers. Number 1. Recording of sales is supported by customer orders, sales orders approved by the credit department and approved and executed shipping documents. Ito ay ang pagre-record ng mga benta na nagbibigay suporta sa mga customer order na inapprove ng department upang maipadala na yung mga documents. Ang potential misstatements nito ay sales that did not occur may be recorded o yung mga benta na hindi ma-record. Ang audit controls nito ay examine, approve, customer order, sales order, shipping document, and copy of sales invoice for a sample of entries in the sales journal o pag-approve sa mga in-examine ng order ng customer, sales order, shipping documents, at kopya ng pinaka-invoice na ilalagay sa sales journal. Number 2, a clerk independent of accounts receivable prepares and mails monthly statements to customer for all trade accounts receivable and follows up on any complaints. Ito yung clerk independent sa accounts receivable ay naghahanda at nagpapadala ng monthly statement sa customer para sa trade account receivable at anumang reklamo na pinapadala sa kanila. Yung potential misstatements dito, errors in recording sales may not be detected o errors sa pagbenta na maaaring hindi na napansin or na-detect. Ang test of controls nito ay observe procedure, examine follow-up file, o pag-o-observe ba sa pamamaraan at pagsuri ng mga files. C. Completeness. All sales transactions that occurred are recorded. Number 3. Pre-numbered shipping documents are accounted for to determine that a sales invoice is prepared for all shipments. Ito yung tinutukoy nito ang bilang ng shipping documents para sa isang sales invoice na hinahanda para sa lahat ng ipapadala. Ang potential misstatements nito ay goods may be shipped but not billed o maaaring ipadala ang mga parcel ngunit hindi ito sinisingil. Ang test of controls ito ay observe procedure, examine copy of invoice for a sample of shipping documents o pag-oobserve ba sa pamamaraan ng pagsuri sa kopya ng invoice para sample ng shipping documents. Number 4. Pre-numbered sales invoices are accounted for to determine that all sales are recorded. Ito yung pre-numbered sales invoice ay isinasaalang-alang upang matukoy ang lahat ng sales na ni-record. Ang potential statements nito ay unrecorded sales may exist o maaaring hindi na itala yung mga benta. Ang test of controls nito ay observe procedure, examine entries for a sequence of sales invoices in sales journal o pag-obserba sa pamamaraan upang suriin yung mga entries sa pagkakasunod-sunod ng invoice ng sales sa sales journal. Number 5, procedures to ensure timely recording of sales and proper cut-off are established. Ang paparaan upang matiyak ang napapanahong pagtatala ng sales at yung pagka-cut off. Ang potential misstatements nito ay sales transactions may be recorded in the wrong period o sales transaction na naitala sa maling panahon. Ang test of controls nito ay inquire how procedures are followed, observe procedures being followed, and inspect report on last shipments o itanong o magsagwa kung paano obserbahan yung mga pamamaraan na sinusunod at suriin ang ulat sa huling mga padala. D. Rights and obligations. Sales recorded represent only sales transactions. 6. Clerk checks sales order and sales invoice for terms to determine that transaction is a sale rather than ito yung pagsusuri ng clerk sa sales order at sa sales invoice upang matukoy sales kaysa sa kargamento o yung mga pautang. Ang potential misstatements nito ay pautang o patinda ng transaction possible na i-record as sales. Ang audit procedure steps of controls nito ay observe procedure o obserbahan lang yung pamamaraan. Evaluation, F, measurement, sales are correctly billed and recorded. 7. For all goods shipped, goods are covered. compared to quantities and descriptions on sales orders and shipping documents prior to shipping. Ito yung para sa lahat ng dinahang parcel ay binibilang at dinedescribe yung dami ng o quantity, sales order at document. Ang potential na statements nito ay more or fewer goods may have been shipped than ordered. Customer returns may occur. Maaring marami o kakaunti yung parcel na naipadala at pagbabalik ng customer ng parcel ay maaaring mangyari. Ang test of controls po nito ay observe procedure. For example, examine signature on documents evidencing performance. O pag-observe pa sa pamamaraan tulad na pagsuri ng signature sa documents na nagpapatunay ng mga naganap. Yun lang po.
Okay. So, you are seeing yung mga procedures, audit procedures, no? Na dapat gawin at i-consider. Now, so this is a sense of controls, ano? Yung mga procedure, yung mga documents para makasiguro tayo na maayos lahat ang pag-accounting, ano? Maayos lahat. To minimize any misstatement. This may be due to error or fraud, ano? So, now I want to emphasize na mention dyan yung sales order, no? Ang tawag ng iba diyan ay internal sales order, no? For internal purposes. Pag natanggap na yung purchase order from the customer, gawa na yung seller ng sales order. Doon internal sales order or SO or ISO. Diyan sa papel na yan inilalagay yung para maraming pwedeng ilagay diyan, ano? Dadaan yan sa credit department kung tuloy na bibigyan ng credit yan. Dadaan yan sa inventory, stock, stock accountant, ano? Para kasi siya ang charge ng inventory control. In many cases, siya rin ang charge ng inventory control. But yung updating ng stock cards mo, kapag pag na-deliver na yung item, ano? Sales order pa lang to, no? Wala pang delivery. Now, so, ano ba ma-check diyan? Yung costing, ano? Kung tama ba yung costing sa sales order. Kung available yung quantity na ino-order. So, pati yung commission, kung meron niyang sales agent, kung magkano yung isang category siya pumapasok, yung commission, considering yung markup na ibigay ng seller sa customer. So, sa sales order mo makikita rin yun. No? Ano pa? So, kung may yan ay, yun nga, sabi ko, kung yan ay entirely or partially available sa iyong storeroom. No? What else? Sa may ang pwede mong may sulat doon sa sales order document. So, upon receipt of a purchase order, gawa ka na ng sales order, ano? And then, yung tapos na lahat at maayos na, no? Pwede ka mag-prepare noong malinis na papel, no? Itong papel na naman ito ay para sa customer at para sa inyong records, ano? Yung tinatawag na sales invoice. Yan. Ang makikita mo lang diyan yung quantity na, na i-deliver at yung iyong selling price, no? Selling price. Doon sa internal sales order, kasi dinedetermine mo kung isang category commission kapasok yung ahente, pwede mong ilagay doon ang list price, no? For internal paper yan eh. Para mo ma-determine kung magkano yung markup na ibigay. Pero yung sales invoice, pupunta yun sa customer. Ba't mo man ilalagay doon? Yung list price, ano? Yung nasa libro ng company. Hindi dapat makita yung customer. Yung list price. Okay. So, there are information nandun sa internal sales order na dapat mong ipakita sa sales order, sa sales invoice. Hindi lahat, no? Ipakita mo sa sales invoice. Kasi yung sales invoice, para sa customer to see. Okay. Now, may na-mention kang ano, if the sales are recorded in the proper period, ano? Kasi may mga kumpanya na yung sales ng succeeding year ay inire-record sa current year kasi naghahabol sila ng sales target. Kasi kapag na-meet nila yung mga sales target, ang pangako ng management, malaki yung bonus. Yun ang tinatawag na window dressing, padding the sales amount. Kaya dapat mag-perform ka ng sales cut-off, no? Kapag na nila i-deliver ng the following year, ay hindi yan sales ng current year. Sales yan ng next year. So, titingnan mo yung date of delivery, yung receiving report. Okay. So, kahit na yung purchase order ay dated o na-receive ng 2022, pero per receiving report ng customer 2023 yan, ay sales yan ng 2023. So, dapat mag-perform ka ng sales cut-off. Titingnan mo yung date of delivery na receive ng customer. At that time lang, marirecognize ng customer na siya ay may payable sa iyo, ikaw naman may receivable sa kanya. Date of receipt or approval by the client na okay na yung i-deliver mo. Okay. So we go to the next. Sino susunod? Si Laresma. Ano bang topic ni Laresma? About continuation and also about the cash assist transaction. Si Kate, may loud presentation.
Wait lang po, sir. Okay. A pleasant evening. I will be continuing the discussion for the test of controls. By the way, ulitin ko lang, test of controls is performed by an independent auditor if maganda ang design ng internal control ng entity. Otherwise, mag-jump na si auditor sa substantive test.
Wait, Kate. Tanungin kita kanina, kasi nakinig ka naman kanina, no? Nakinig ka naman kanina ng report ni Kuwa. So, kaya ang tanungin ko, Kung sakaling ang assessment mo sa control risk ng client, eh, naglalaro sa maximum yung control risk. After your assessment, dapat ka ba mag-control lang, pag-perform ng test of controls?
Sir, pag below po o above maximum level?
Ano siya, parang masasabi mo siyang maximum level ng kanyang risk, ang risk. Should you be performing control of test of controls?
Sir, based po sa presentation kanina, magpe-perform lang daw po ng test of controls kapag below maximum level po.
Okay. So, kapag na-assess mo na medyo delikado, i-document mo very well kung bakit naging maximum yung possibility ng risk. Kasi, uh, kung malaki yung risk, there's no need for you to perform test of controls. Magpe-perform ka lang ng test of controls para ma-test mo kung really working yung existing control. Kung strong ba or weak para you can come up with the recommendation. And the more you perform test of controls, the lesser you perform the substantive test, Okay, mababawasan. Kapag na-establish mo na strong naman yung existing control. Okay, so picking up from the report of KUA, kinakinig, Tama ba, Kate? Mali.
Tama po, sir.
Ano si Kate? Okay. So, continue reporting.
Ayun po. So, we're still in sales transactions and yung related assertion pa din dito is yung valuation and measurement. So, number 8.
Wala kami makita. Kate, wala kami makita yan.
Ay, wala po.
Meron na kayo nakikita? Ako walang nakikita pa. Ikot na lang ikot yung puti. May nakikita na ba kayo? Sa akin, ikot ng ikot. Tignan mo nga naman yan. No? Para bang kamalas-malas naman ang kinalalagyan ko. Ay, nasa weak signal ako eh. O sige, bukas naman itong aking libro. Sa libro na lang ako titingin.
Ayun po. Number 8, ang control po ng entity is customer credit is approved by a responsible official prior to merchandise shipment. Ang potential misstatement po dun is accounts receivable may be uncollectible and an audit procedures po or test of controls ay examine sales order for selected transactions. So before po ipadala yung items, ina-approve po muna ni responsible official yung credit ni customer. And ano po ba yung isang proof na approve ang request? So pwede po dun yung signature, yun. So dapat may mga ganong klaseng evidences po para talagang correctly build yung transaction. Then, sa potential misstatement po, baka po kasi may portion sa accounts receivable na doubtful na. Pero ni-record pa din ng buo. So, misstatement po yun. Taliwas po agad sa assertion. Then, sa test of control,
Class, narinig ba niyo ako?
need po ni auditor examine po muna yung sales order. Invoices are checked for A, proper pricing, B, mathematical accuracy, C, terms. Then sales or accounts receivable may be overstated or understated. Then test of controls, inquire about the updating and use of approved price list. For a sample of invoices, examine a signature indicating performance of task. So, maari pong may resibo nga po si entity, pero ang tanong, tama po ba ang kanyang input? So, as part po ng kanilang control, chinecheck po yung resibo kung tama ang information, kung tama ang values, and tama po ang measurement. Kasi, kung mali-mali po ang pinaglalagay na information, possible po talaga na mataas or mas mababa sa actual sales or receivables ang ma-record. So si auditor, pwede siyang magtanong about updated price list pero hindi po sapat ang inquiries kaya i-examine niya if naisakatuparan ba talaga yun. And that is through the existence of a signature. So mahalaga po yung signature. Then number 10, accounts receivable subsidiary ledger is balanced regularly. Potential misstatements, likelihood of errors in accounts receivable increases. Then test of controls, observe procedure, fourth subsidiary ledger. So madalas daw po ang nagmamatch ang breakdown of accounts receivable records ni entity sa subsidiary ledger doon sa general ledger control account nito pero posible pa din po ang error. Kaya po ang test of control for that is to observe yung procedure lalo na sa subsidiary ledger kasi nandito ang detailed accounts receivable ni entity. Then letter G, presentation and disclosure. Ang assertion po ni entity is sales and accounts receivable are recorded to result in presentation and disclosure in accordance with PFRS. Number 11, an independent review is made of account coding for recorded sales. Potential misstatements, revenues may be misclassified. Observe procedure for a sample of recorded sales po ng entity ay mayroong accounting coding. Ito po yung mga assigned numbers or letters for a research database. So, efficient idea po ito, pero kung mali po ang naka-input na accounting code sa recorded sales, revenues po ang maapektuhan kasi baka po maging mali din yung value na mailagay. Then so sa test of controls naman po, observe again the procedure, then i-check ang mga accounting coding na naka-assign sa mga sales invoices po. Number 2, cash receipts transactions. A, existence, B, occurrence. So as ang assertion po dito is recorded receipts represents actual collections of cash from customers. Number 1, a trustworthy employee prepares a pre-listing of cash receipts before further processing. Ang potential misstatement po is may be misappropriated. Then test of control, pre-listing is prepared and required a preparer about the procedures followed. May prepared cash receipts na cash receipts release na si mapagkakatiwalaang employee. Syempre dahil trustworthy yung tao, confident si entity na existence yung mga transactions na nakalagay sa cash receipt. Pero regardless po kung trustworthy or hindi, may potential misappropriation pa din lalo na po kung ang involved ay cash. So si auditor, oobserbahan po niya yung pre-listing na ginawa at itatanong sa gumawa kung nasunod ba ang procedure. Siyempre sa procedure, nandun yung mga transactions, mga amount. So makikita dun kung may existence or occurrence ba talaga ng cash transactions. Number 2, a validated deposit slip is obtained for daily deposits and compared to the cash receipt summary. Potential misstatement, cash receipts may be recorded that were not deposited. Then for the test of control, for a sample of entries in the cash receipts journal, validated deposit ticket. So kinukumpara po ni entity yung validated receipt summary. So sa potential misstatement po, baka po ang recorded cash receipt ay hindi po ma-deposit. Kaya po ang test of control dito is gagamit po si auditor ng sampling. Kukuha po siya ng sample of entries sa cash receipt journal, then pagsasamahin ang total to be sure na nagmamatch sa validated deposit tickets. So sa dalawa po, alin po ang mas credible? Siyempre yung validated kasi sure na mayroong nag-check dito. Then for the number 3, duties of handling cash receipts are segregated from posting to accounts receivable. Potential misstatement, cash may be misappropriated and lapping may occur. For test of control, observe separation of duties and inquire of personnel about their responsibilities. Dito, hiwalay daw po ang treatment when it comes to cash receipts and posting to accounts receivable. Kaya naman potential misstatement is baka misappropriated na maganap. In simple, yung lapping po, in settle po si customer A ng accounts payable niya kay entity, then binul sa halimbawa ni employee yung cash. Nung si customer B naman ang magbayad, yun ang ni-record niya for customer A. So, maling-mali. So, ang test of control po ni auditor dito is, mag-observe po siya ng segregation of duties ng mga employees, pati mag-inquire po siya sa tamang tao about their responsibilities. Nang sa ganun, kita po ni auditor kung sino ang accountable in case of misstatements. So, number 4, a bank reconciliation is prepared monthly by a person not involved in handling cash, accounts receivable, or general ledger records. Potential misstatements, bank reconciliations may cover shortages. Test of controls, examine bank reconciliations and determine that preparer does not have conflicting duties. So, dun po kasi sa entity talaga silang activity called bank reconciliation. So, nagpe-prepare po sila monthly ng independent po involved sa entity. Pero may potential misstatement pa rin po yun kasi dahil hindi po involved sa cash, AR and general records entity, maaari pong pagtakpan ng bank reconciliation ang shortages ni entity. So, sa test of control, dapat po make sure po na wala pong conflicting duties si preparer. Letter C and D, completeness and rights and obligations. Assertion po doon ay all receipts are processed and recorded. So number 5, pre-listing of cash receipts and cash register procedures are monitored. Potential misstatements, cash may be misappropriated. Test of control, observe, monitoring, and inquire of pre-lister and cash register operator about procedures. So, namamonitor daw po ni entity yung kanyang mga pre-listings, which is good to assure yung completeness. Maaaring complete nga po, pero the risk of cash misappropriation is still existence po. Kaya po, ang test of control para na din maobserbahan at ma-monitor na din kung sumusunod ba sa appropriate procedures of preparing. So number 6, checks are restrictively endorsed upon receipt. Potential misstatement, cash may be misappropriated, test of control, examine undeposited checks for endorsement. So kahit pa po restrictively ang manner ni entity, cash may still be misappropriated. So, ang test of controls po dito is to examine muna yung mga undeposited checks for endorsement para sigurado na hindi lang complete, but tama rin po ang values. Then 7, cash receipts are deposited intact daily. Potential misstatements, cash may be unrecorded or misappropriated, test of control, observe the procedure and inquire of personnel who perform the duties. So, complete daw po ang dinideposit receipt. Maaaring complete pero may potential misappropriated cash. Still, the good test of control po para mga taong may rights and obligations doon sa procedure na ginawa. Then 8, a daily cash summary is prepared and reconciled to total of pre-listing and over-the-counter receipts and the cash receipts journal. Potential misstatement, cash may be misappropriated. Test of control for selected day, trace totals from cash receipts journal to cash summary and validated deposit ticket. So, sampling po ulit ang gagamitin ni auditor kasi hindi naman po niya kayang lahatin po yung cash receipts journal sa test of control. The number 9, the cash receipts journal total is independently reconciled to the total posted to accounts receivable. Then, potential misstatement, credits posted to customers' accounts may be overstated or understated. Then, test of control, observe the procedure and inquire of personnel who perform the procedure. So, independently reconciled. Baka po ma-overstate or understate yung accounts receivable kasi so, same audit procedure, observe kung paano ginawa and then inquire the responsible performer. The letter E, letter F, valuation and measurement. Ang assertion po ng entity is debits to cash and credits to accounts receivables are valued at amounts received. So number 10, cash receipts are recorded at the amount received. Potential misstatement, a customer may be given credit for an amount greater than payment. Test of control, For a sample of entries in cash receipts journal, examine remittance advices. So kung magkano cash lang daw po ang actual na natanggap ni entity, yun lang ang recorded. Pero pwedeng ma-record yung entity ay higher amount than what is actually received. So, ang test of control para dito is suriin niya ang remittance advices or yung proof of payment ng. Then, number 11, are responsible taken. Potential misstatements sa customer may take a larger discount. A sample of entries in cash receipts journal, examine remittance advices for approval of discounts taken. So dito, pwedeng mag-cash discount si customer through responsible person. Pero ang risk doon is baka si customer humiling pa ng higher than what is appropriate. Kaya ang test of control po para dito is suriin ulit ang proof of payment para sure na kung ano lang ang approved amount of discount ay yun lang ang mag-a-appear sa receipt. Letter G, presentation and disclosure. Cash receipts transactions are recorded to result in presentation and disclosure in accordance with PFRS. Number 12, a supervisor approves account classification made in journalizing. Potential misstatement entries may be made to wrong accounts. Test of controls, observe procedure, examine approvals by supervisor. So, approval especially by a guarantee appropriation. Kaya po sabi dito, maaaring kaya si auditor, ang test of control niya ay obserbahan po ang procedure at suriin yung mga approvals na ginagawa ni supervisor. Then for the number 3, purchases transactions. A and B, existence and occurrence. Ang assertion po ni entity ay recorded. Acquisitions are 4 items that were acquired. Number 1, approval of acquisitions is evidenced by signature on the purchase order. Potential misstatement. Purchases that did not occur may be recorded. Then, test of controls, examine approval signature. So, ito pa yung sasabi ko kanina na mahalaga yung signature. So, dito, dapat may pirma ang purchase order kasi ito ang go signal para sa acquisition plans ng responsible people ng isang entity. Kaya lang, baka makapag-record si entity ng purchases na hindi naman talaga binili. So, on test of control, dapat mayroong pirma lahat ng purchase. Signature from the authorized personnel. Entity is a purchase requisition, purchase order, receiving report, and vendor's invoice are filed in support of each acquisition. Potential misstatement, purchases that did not occur may be recorded. Then, ang test of controls, observe procedure or examine file of documents. So, ang control po ng entity, dapat every acquisition is accompanied by supporting documents evidencing the acquisition. Pero same risk, baka may ma-record po na purchases na hindi naman nangyari. Kaya po ang test of control doon ay obserbahan po ulit ang procedure at suriin ang mga documents po ni entity. Yun lang po sir.
Okay. So, as we progress, paano nyo masasabi na yung procedure nyo ay test of control or test or substantive test, ano? So, up to this point, lumilinaw na yung mga controls ay yung mga pamamaraan ng entity to ensure na maayos ang kanilang recording, ano? Sa lahat ng mga ina-assert, maayos, ano? Ano yung mga procedure na dapat gawin, mga documents na dapat i-prepare, at mga signatures na dapat i-affix. So, kapag ganyan ang ginagawa mo, the editor is testing the controls, ano, of the entity, the internal control. Para masabi niya, he can come up with evidence na masabi niya na strong or weak ang existing control, ano. So we go to we move on. Nandito na tayo sa purchases transactions. The next is lot. Okay. Hindi ko lang makikita ang iyong report kung anong tsura niya. Lot, you may show us your report.
Good morning, good evening po. So, I'll discuss the continuation of Larasma's report. So, number 3,
Pwede ba palaki-lakihan mo, Rose,
okay po.
para makitang-kitang-kita namin.
Okay na po to.
Okay, sige. Pwede na yan.
Documents are canceled so they cannot be reused. Ibig sabihin po nito, yung mga documents daw po ay kinakancel para hindi na daw po ito ulit magamit. Yung potential misstatements niya po is documents may be reused and accusations may be recorded twice. Yung documents daw po is maaaring magamit ulit at ma-record ng 2 beses. Ang audit procedures niya is examine cancellations on documents. C. Completeness. Acquisitions that occurred are recorded. Number 4, receiving reports are pre-numbered and accounted for. 4. So, yung mga matatanggap daw po na reports ay may bilang na po siya. Ganun. Ang potential misstatements po is purchases may be unrecorded. The audit procedures is observe procedure, account for a numerical sequence. Number 5, vouchers are pre-numbered and accounted for. Katulad po ng mga sa reports, yung vouchers din po is may mga bilang na rin po siya and accounted na siya. Ang potential misstatements po is purchases may be unrecorded. The audit procedures is observe procedure, account for a numerical sequence. D. Rights and obligations. Recorded acquisitions are the entities, purchases, and liabilities. Receiving reports are prepared by persons having access only to a blind copy of purchase order details. Consigned goods are readily identified. Excuse me. Sabi po dito, yung pagtanggap daw po ng reports ay piniprepare po siya ng may authorized persons or yung person lang po na may access sa blind copy na mga doon po nakalagay yung details po ng purchase order para po ma-identify yung mga goods, ma-identify po yung goods na pinadala. Ang potential misstatements po is yung purchases po na hindi po sa legit store or yung purchases po na hindi po legit, nabili po sa mga legit na hindi legit na business is pwede po siyang ma-record as a purchase. Audit procedures po is observe procedure. E. Valuation. F. Measurement. Acquisitions are recorded for the proper amounts. Number 7, invoice amounts. Invoice amounts are verified by reference to purchase orders and receiving reports and mathematics on invoice is rechecks. So, para daw po ma-identify, ma-verify yung mga amounts na nakalagay sa invoice. So, chine-check po ito sa purchase order, sa mga reports na natatanggap, at saka po yung computation po dun sa invoice is nire-recheck po siya. So, ang potential misstatements po is yung client could overpay for goods or services or maaari pong magbayad yung client ng mas malaki kaysa po sa dapat niyang bayaran. Ang audit procedures po, examine voucher for signature indicating performance. G. Presentation and disclosure. Acquisitions are recorded to result in presentation and disclosure in accordance with PFRS. Number 8. chart of accounts adequately describes account to be debited. Account coding is assigned by one person and checked by another. So, sabi po dito, yung chart of accounts po is dinidescribe niya kung ano lang daw po yung mga accounts na dapat ide-debit. Ang account coding po is naka-assign na po siya or responsible po yung isa sa pagko-code at yung pag-check po or pagre-review nito is naka-assign naman po siya sa ibang tao. Ang 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 potential misstatements po is yung purchases daw po is maaring ma-charge po o mailagay sa wrong accounts. Audit procedures, examine chart of accounts, examine signature of employee, performing check. Number 4, cash payments transactions. A, existence, B, occurrence, recorded cash payments occurred. Number 1, authorized individual signs and promptly mail checks after reviewing documentations. Ibig po sabihin nito, yung mga authorized individuals po is pinipirmahan nila yung mga checks at yung mga checks po after nila i-review yung mga documentations. Ang potential misstatements po is checks may be written but not issued or released. Yung mga checks daw po is maaaring hindi po ilabas or released. Audit procedure, observe procedure, examine documents. Number 2, a review is made by a person not responsible for handling disbursement to determine that checks are processed on a timely basis. So, yung pag-review daw po is, ang responsible po dun is ang pag-review daw po is ginagawa ng taong hindi po responsible or hindi po siya yung nag-handle ng disbursement. So, para po ma-determine kung yung checks po ay na-process or na-record siya in a timely manner. The potential misstatements, checks may be written but not issued or released. Audit procedure, observe procedure, inquire about procedures being followed. C, completeness. All cash payments are recorded. Number 3, checks are pre-numbered and accounted for. So, yung mga checks din is may bilang na siya pagdating. So, ang potential misstatements is checks may be issued but not recorded. Audit procedure, observe procedure, account for sequence. Number 4, independent bank reconciliation is performed monthly. Buwan-buwan daw pong ginagawa yung bank reconciliation. Ang potential misstatements is account may not reconcile or discrepancy may not be disclosed. Audit procedure, observe that person preparing bank reconciliation is independent of cash handling, inspect reconciliation. D, rights and obligations. All cash payments made are for obligations of the entity. Number 5, check signer who is independent of voucher preparation, examine supporting documentation before signing checks. Yung mga check signer daw po ina-examine niya muna yung mga supporting documents bago siya pumirman sa mga cheque. So, ang potential misstatements niya, yung mga unauthorized payments may be made. Audit procedure, observed procedure. E, evaluation. F, measurement. Debits to various accounts and credits to cash are valued at proper amounts. Number 6, amounts including discounts taken and calculations on vendors' invoices are independently verified. Sabi po dito, yung mga account daw po, kasama na yung mga discounts, at yung mga calculations po sa mga invoice ay independent siyang verify. So, ang potential misstatements niya po is yung hindi po tamang amounts yung mabayaran ng client kasi mali po yung computations po. Audit procedures, observe procedure, examine signature on invoice. G. Preparation and disclosure. Cash payments are recorded to result in preparation and disclosure in accordance with PFRS. Number 7, chart of accounts adequately describes accounts to be used and account coding is assigned by one person and checked by another. So, yung chart of accounts daw po is dinidescribe niya or inilalarawan niya po kung ano po yung mga accounts na gagamitin. At yung account coding daw po is naka-assign po siya sa isang tao at yung pagre-review po, pag-check is naka-assign naman po sa iba. Ang potential misstatements po is payments may be credited to wrong accounts, audit procedure, observe procedure, examine chart of accounts, examine signature of employee performing check. Number 5, payroll transactions, A, existence, B, occurrence, recorded payroll transactions occurred. Yun lang po, thank you.
Okay, so nakikita natin sa accounting and aming ang aming task ay kailangan ng maraming personnel sa accounting. And the chief accountant understands the situation na hindi lamang yung reporting ay pati na rin yung mga control dapat isagawa. Now, this manual procedure may be simplified, alam naman natin using the computerized system, na yung multiple steps nare-reduce because of computerization. So, kaya natin all know, again, computerized system na, iba naman ng lumalabas na problema, Ang problema naman. Okay. So, now nabanggit mo yung about the receiving reports and also the mga bin cards sa warehouse. Now, may mga personnel sa company na hindi mo dapat pakitaan ng corresponding price or cost ng item, tulad ng nasa receiving reports. Dapat lang makita niya sa dokumento mga quantities. Kaya nilabasa tayo ditong blind copy of purchase order. Siya dapat magkaroon ng idea about the cost and price ng mga items na nire-receive niya. Ganun din yung sa loob ng warehouse. Mga nag-update ng mga bill cards. Quantities lang. No price, no cost. And that is part of the control, Part of control. Parang ang alam lang niya, hanggang doon lang sa quantity. Okay. So there are still many areas that we are going to go into. Simulan natin yung payroll. Merong production. Merong inventory warehousing cycle. Yun na lang. And we will be going over those areas next meeting. Tomorrow, Tomorrow. Okay. So now, it's very clear kung yung mga sinasabi natin sa internal control, para naman ang testing. Para malaman mo na kung bakit ginagawa yun ng auditor. Kung ikaw yung accountant, you should be able to understand the work of the auditor. O kung ikaw magse-set up ng accounting, alam mo ang kulang na dapat consider because may mga controls nga yan. At kung nagtitipid ang kumpanya sa personnel, paano kung hindi kaya mag-overtime? Ay, doon. Nako-compromise ang internal control. The chief accountant understand the situation. Kung ano dapat ang well-functioning accounting department, ano? Okay, class. So, may question pa kayo? Muna pa tayo na with signal. We go this time to the next number, and that is screenshot portion para may record natin ang attendance and also your smiles. Our photographer, this photographer. Bukas na yung aking camera, ayaw pa rin. Kita na ba ako sa inyo? Kita na ba ako? Bukas na yung camera ko. Bukas na yung camera ko. Hindi ko pa rin makita sarili ko dito sa akin. Talaga naman, no? Jansen, kita na ba ako? Hindi pa rin.
Opo, sir, kita po. Kita ko po kayo.
Mas nauna pa. Ngayon lang lumabas sa screen ko yung sarili ko. Ako ba? Most likely, ano, bibilis yung signal dito sa Barangay 4, no? Or the effect na may kapitbahay akong mas malakas ang signal. Okay, Lawrence, you count 1, 2, 3.
Sir, naka-tablet po ako.
Everybody, show your smile. Ganun ba?
Opo.
Tablet. Okay. So, kapag tablet ka, konti makikita.
Opo, sir. Dito.
Si Rose Ann, ikaw na photographer namin.
Sige po.
Ha? Si Rose Ann na lang.
Okay na
You
po.
count 1, 2, 3, and then ibato mo sa ating GC. Tingin ka namin.
Okay. 1, 2, 3. Ulit po, wait lang. 1, 2, 3. Okay na po.